Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn, Spiritual Way Shower. Thank you so much for showing up today. I'm so excited to have my good friend Kevin with Kevin's Loving Vibrations here. We are going to do some Reiki healing tonight. And I just want to tell you guys that you can tune into this anytime, right? You can, if you're watching this in the replay, it's still counts. You can tap into this healing anytime you want, next month, next year, whenever. Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming. And you're going to be teaching us something new tonight, or not teaching us, but you're going to be helping us experience something new tonight.
Yes. Hey, Susan and everyone. So good to be here. Yeah, we're going to be doing a really deeply healing experience today, kind of like a Reiki journey. But this one I love specifically because it helps us to connect to that inner peace within. And as we focus in on creating that space of inner peace collectively, it helps to send world peace out to the world. So, and I think in this turbulent energy that we're all kind of navigating through, um, tapping into that deep, grounded, peaceful, loving energy, I think is so needed right now. But thank you for having me, Susan, and thank you everyone for being here. I'm happy to do this and sharing this healing energy with you all.
I am thrilled you're here. Kevin and I have done this before, and I say Kevin and I, but I really mean Kevin has done this before on my channel. So again, you could go back and look at any of these Reiki healings that he's been so kind to give
Yeah.
us and dial in and use it. I remember last time we did this, people, it moved the needle. Like people were like, whoa, right? Like
Can
they
I say,
really felt it.
our last time we did this, I can't tell you how many people emailed me
I
and
know.
signed up for my class because it was so deeply healing for them, just that
It was
experience.
a big deal. It was a
I
big
got a
deal.
lot of really good feedback from it as well.
Yeah, this is going to be the same thing because you just got a new certification, right? Did you go to a higher certification?
So over the summer, I did take the Holy Fire Master Level class. Now I was
Nice.
already taking a class above that, so it's kind of weird how I did this. So originally, I started off with the Sui Reiki, which I think most people are most familiar with, and the most traditional Reiki. When people talk about Reiki, it's usually a Sui Reiki. Um, and I became a master, I think, in 2022, 2023. It's been a little while. And I was kind of in that transitional stage of wanting to teach because it'd been so life changing for me. But with a Asui method, it's more of a hands-on attunement. Um, and there are a lot of Asui masters that are teaching online now.
Oh, really?
Something with that didn't resonate the strongest with me. And so I'd heard about Holy Fire Energy, Reiki. And so I took a level 1 and 2 class at that time. And I noticed the energy really refined and kind of strengthened, even just taking that level 1 and 2 class at the time, being an Asui master. And so did my clients that I worked with regularly. And so after the level 1 and 2 class, after I, kind of tapped in and figured out that it was the real deal, I actually took the Holy Fire Karuna Reiki Master since I was already a Reiki Master. So it was actually one step above. But I've been teaching Holy Fire level 1 and 2 for about a year now. And I wanted a good refresher course as I start to teach the master level. Now, as I took this class too, it is upgraded. So in that sense, yes, it was kind of amplifying the energy. But it was like an upgrade to the energy that I was attuned to. It's kind of confusing how the process of Holy Fire works. We can talk about that, or we do talk about it in the classes that I teach. Um, but yes, I took the master level class over the summer, and if I can just share with you all, it was deeply transformational and healing for me. Um, and even a lot of my subscribers on YouTube were like, "Kevin, your energy is vibrating a lot higher." They could see like that lightness around me. So really deeply healing for me personally and physically, but also I feel like spiritually, kind of letting go of any of those blockages or anything that's holding me back from my journey and moving me forward. Kind of going into this eclipse energy too, which it does, you know, kind of a similar thing, but I'm still feeling the energy kind of integrate and strengthen. And I took this class end of July. So
Wow.
yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful energy for sure.
Wow. And you have some classes coming up. You're teaching Holy Fire 1 and 2. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, I am teaching that. I have a class. I have only a couple spots left open. I think I have 3 spots left open in October and November. So it is you actually learn level 1 and 2 in this class. It's combined is how it's taught. And then I do have another class um, January 2026 for the Holy Fire level 1 and 2. And I am starting to teach my first Holy Fire Master level class for anybody that's already a level 2
Wow.
practitioner or higher. Um, if you're a Reiki master from a SUI, you'd be qualified to take the class in November. So I'm excited to starting to offer the master level class
Wow,
as
that's
well.
exciting. So to take the Holy Fire 1 and 2 though, you don't or do you have to have any experience with Reiki? You don't have to be a Reiki
No, it's a
master.
beginner class. It's a
It's a
total
completely
beginner class
it's a very different energy, you guys, I think.
for
Somebody
sure.
said in the chat that it's more electric. I do find that when I get Holy Fire Reiki, like when Kevin's gonna help us today, it's just to me, it's different. It's a little
Mhm.
bit more powerful. It feels to me. Maybe it's not, but that's just how it feels. So if you
Yeah,
guys are interested, uh, go to kevinslovingvibrations.com. The moderators are putting it in the chat, which I appreciate,
thank
uh,
you.
because he just has a few other openings. But you're going to continue to teach this. This looks like something that this is like your soul path is to spread this type of light.
It's been really fulfilling. I started last year, last fall, starting to teach. And I'll just say this year's been a wonderful transition for me on my Reiki journey. And really, the healing aspect is what really resonates with me at a soul level. Rather, and I love doing the psychic work as well, but healing work is what really, hits me to that core level. And so now being able to mentor others on their path and teach, and especially during this really stressful time that we're all going to, working on raising our vibrations and being part of this collective shift that we're going through, I think is so important. um, and I do also do Reiki shares as well, I'll say. So monthly I'll meet up with my students that are interested in it, and or anybody that's a level 2 trained Reiki practitioner, to kind of share in a sacred space and go over,
Nice.
techniques, send Reiki and trade it too.
Nice.
So,
Oh, that's
so
a nice
yeah, it's been really
resource.
fulfilling for me, kind of taking this new step into teaching.
Well, I can definitely see a change in your energy as well.
Thank
JP
you.
says, can you explain what is Reiki?
Okay, so Reiki is well, I'll say first off, it's a very useful technique, energy healing technique that can help with um, reducing stress and bringing in that peaceful energy, and really helps to align the physical body, or the chakras. A lot of people have heard of those, and then like the energy meridians that pulls the life force energy throughout our body. It helps to open and align that and get the body in a more open place for the body to heal itself. Um, so it can be very helpful with physical injuries or illnesses going on, but also I think mental, emotional. Um, I've had a lot of people that have really stressed out in this time, and the Reiki energy seems to really help them. And it can also be helpful as well, removing maybe any spiritual blockages that are holding you back from being your greatest and higher self. So it's a technique that brings in, it's a stress relief technique, but it can open up to deep healing physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just imagine that all of your energies flowing easier, right? Like that in and of itself is a huge
Mhm.
bonus. And how would you
Mhm.
say that holy fire is different than Reiki? Is that something
So,
that you could
yeah, absolutely. So most people, like I said earlier, think of Reiki. Um, when they think of Reiki, it's Asui Reiki, which has been around since the 30s, but really became more globally known in the 60s, 70s. Um, so, like I said, I was trained in Asui Reiki. The difference between Holy Fire and Asui Reiki is it really kind of uses Asui Reiki as a foundation. So, a lot of the techniques that you would learn in an Asui class still come through for Holy Fire. However, as we've raised our vibrations and we can access higher and higher levels of frequency, um, we can pull that energy down now too. So the energy is different with holy fire energy. To me, it feels, you said stronger. I feel that way, although I would not say that it's better than a Sui Reiki.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think both have their own place, and for me, a Sui Reiki was deeply healing, but it has a more refined feel. For me, channeling it, I get very hot with it, and so I kind of call it Reiki on steroids because it burns. I mean, it's deeply clearing in that aspect, but it's also very, very loving and wise. Um, and I've even noticed, since it is coming from a higher level of consciousness, um, intuitively, the guidance that comes through with it is a lot stronger too.
Oh,
So
wow.
it even helps with the intuitive development as well. So the energy is different. And then the other major difference between the two, most people that are familiar with the Sui Reiki have heard of an attunement, which is the ceremony that the teacher brings into the student so that they can channel Reiki energy. It's done a little bit differently in Holy Fire. So um, in the master level class, there's an ignition process which instills that energy into your being, which can be very deeply transformational for the master. But it kind of gives the master a direct link to the energy. So, so it's not actually coming from me, the teacher. I don't really have to do a lot during um, the placement or ignition process in the Holy Fire system. It's coming directly from source. So each student will have their own individual healing and connection to that frequency that kind of meets them where they're at on their journey, which I think is really cool.
That is really cool. One last
Mhm.
thing, Cindy P says, can you explain how long distance healing works? It's a tough concept for many because we talked about how this energy is available. So if you're watching this video or you want to watch this video next week, you can literally tap right back into this Reiki, this holy fire energy. You can
Mhm.
it's there. It's always on, right? So can you explain like how does it work long distance?
Yeah. Well, we were chatting about this before we went live. Um, in the level two class, there's actually a symbol that we learn and that you get attuned to, that allows you to send Reiki through time. So you can send it to the past, present, or future, and
Oh,
also throughout space. So it connects to that oneness within all of us, within all living things. Um, so that's how we can actually send it at a distance. I was telling Susan beforehand that another reason why you can um, watch this video after it's posted and still connect to the energy is because it's not actually coming from me. I'm just a channel and a conduit for the energy. That energy is always flowing, you know. It's overly abundant in the universe. It's like the air that we breathe. So it has its own intelligence and kind of meets us where we're at. So um so we actually learn a symbol that we can send Reiki at a distance. And like I said, I'm kind of like the conduit for the healing, just kind of channeling it, but it's always there to connect to.
nice.
Yeah.
You guys, it's just like reading. We can read you psychically. You don't have to be in the room with me, right? I can be on the phone with you. I can be on a video with you. It's the same thing. Energy is not contained. It cannot
Hmm.
be contained, right? But intention can direct it. So you're
Absolutely.
directing your intention to say, I want this healing to go to these people or to the world or whatever it is that you want to
Well,
do.
and that's a good point. I'll actually say, because I'm a channel for the energy, I'm actually not the one doing the healing. All of you all, as you're connecting and setting that intention,
Nice.
is working with the energy. Um, so yeah, setting those intentions before we even go into the session can be really um, powerful. It can help make the experience more powerful. And yes, Carla, we can send Reiki to the past to heal past traumas. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That I don't know why, but that surprised. I mean, it didn't. It's like I don't know. It was a light bulb moment for me when you said that. It's
Mhm.
again like I know this. I mean I know this. I think in my mind, but I don't know. When you said it, I was like, oh, right. Like
Well,
I guess I never thought to do it or never
yeah.
thought to utilize it like that.
Well, and like when we're doing psychic readings, Susan and I work together very often, where we're actually placing our attention and pulling our energy from is from a higher dimension where the past, present, and future are all kind of happening at once. And so it works the same way when we're channeling Reiki. We're connecting to a higher dimensional energy, where there are no limits, and that's how we're able to send it to the past. It's all kind of happening at once.
Yeah.
I think using intentions can. Terry Lynn asks, do we need to use intentions? Um, I think it can make the sessions more stronger, but if you're just wanting to see whatever you're meant to receive at this moment, I think that that's fine too, kind of going in with no expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Um, all right. Let's see here. We're gonna get ready to do this.
Yes.
We're not really
And I
doing
did see a couple
personal
other.
questions.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I just saw a couple other questions if
Go ahead.
you're fine
Do
with that.
Jennifer said she loved your class.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. She's a sweetie.
Did you see some other questions you wanted to
Yeah.
pop
Equus
up there?
asks how different than Karuna
Oh,
Reiki. And that's actually a good question. Um, so actually, the person that founded the Karuna Reiki system, William Rand, is the one that founded Holy Fire. And so as he developed the Karuna Reiki in the 90s by a lot of his students were finding other symbols that they wanted to use for healing, and so he kind of created a class that way. So in Karuna Reiki, you actually learn 8 additional symbols which help tailor the energy. Um, and so now holy fire energy is actually included with the Karuna Reiki, um, as it's kind of developed. That system has amplified Karuna Reiki. So it is a class that's you have to be a Reiki master. It can be a Sui Reiki or Holy Fire Reiki, but the energy's actually been amplified to that Holy Fire system now too. So
Karina
I'll
Reiki.
say,
Okay.
yeah. So actually, as I've learned it, I've only learned Karuna Reiki with Holy Fire energy, but it gives the practitioner a lot of additional tools to help with healing. But I think of Reiki also, it's a lifestyle, so we can use it for just about anything in our everyday life as well. Um, I love it. I'm very empathic, so I'm always putting up a Reiki bubble of protection when I'm going out into crowded places. Again, we can send Reiki to the past. If I have something to look forward to, like working with Susan, I can send Reiki to our show so that it all goes well and the
Yeah,
Reiki
there you
energy
go.
is flowing. You can send it to animals. If you like crystals, you use tarot cards, you can clear, uplift those energies with Reiki. So really, it's a lifestyle as well as a technique that you can learn for your own healing, but then also healing others. So.
Man, that's awesome. Here's a question for you. Higher Realm says, I'm attuned to use SUI level 2. Do I need to be attuned to level 3 to attune to Holy Fire? In other words, what do you need
Mhm.
to be able to do to take your Holy Fire class?
So level 1 and 2 is a beginner class, although I have had Asui masters wanting to check out the energy. And like I said, even as an Asui master, I did the same thing. And I actually didn't feel like I was taking a step back in my Reiki journey. I felt like it actually enhanced it because the energy comes through strong. So I've taught total beginners and Asui masters in the level 1 and 2 class. Now, um, like I said, I am starting to teach some master level class. The only prereqs for that class is that you have to be a level 2 Reiki practitioner of any lineage, so Holy Fire, Asui, for at least 6 months. You have to have the 3 level 2 symbols memorized. And I just think it's important too to call yourself a master or something. You have to be dedicated to it. So have plenty of experiences doing self Reiki, treating others, doing distant Reiki. So you'll want to make sure that you're prepared that way. But since higher realms is level 2, as long as you've been using it and really keeping up with it, you would qualify to take the master level class as long as you've been trained for 6 months.
But you can take the beginning 1 and 2 holy fire with no experience.
There's no
No
prerequisite for that.
experience, you guys. That's what
Yeah.
I like about holy fire too. I just feel like it's more accessible. I don't know if that's just
Yeah.
me, but it just
Well, I
seems like
agree.
you can literally just dive. And the way Kevin does it, you get 1 and 2 together and you come out level 2. And then if you want to go into the master, you can, right?
Yeah.
So,
And can I also just say too, I love teaching a class. I keep my classes on the small side, so it's more
yeah,
intimate. Um, but I actually love the dynamic of having Asui masters and people that have been practicing Reiki for a long time and total new beginners. I can kind of, um, they're learning a lot from the masters in their own previous experience too with that. So we've had some really good groups in the classes. I always kind of like that dynamic.
that's awesome. It's great that you can traverse that. That says a lot about you, that you
Mhm.
can have all those different experience levels in your class and still bring everybody to a new awareness, right?
Yeah.
That's
Like
pretty
I
cool.
said, holy fire meets you where you're at on your healing journey, and that's the thing I love about it. So you can be really experienced and amplify your energy that way, or you can be a total beginner, and it's a wonderful time to really develop that craft and that channel to Reiki energy, right?
Nice. Here's one more question. Do you need the other person's permission to heal them remotely?
Yeah, that's a good question. Personally, I always like to receive somebody's permission to send them Reiki. It's the same thing with doing psychic work.
Yes,
I want to um, have integrity with my gift, and so I don't want to invade somebody's space
that's right.
without getting that permission. Now, I think kind of tapping into their energy just briefly, if it revolves around the client that I'm working with, that's fine. But when I have a wife wanting me to do a deep dive into her husband and kind of get all the dirty secrets and stuff like that's not ethical to me.
That's not ethical. No.
When so to send Reiki, yes. Now we can send it to world situations too. And so if you actually can't get permission, you can connect to their higher self and ask if it's appropriate.
Bingo.
But if somebody tells you, I don't believe in Reiki, I don't want Reiki, then we respect that too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I love the idea of the intermediary. If you're not
Mhm.
sure, send it to the intermediary and let the intermediary pass it along. If this would be for their highest good, may you pass it along. Then you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You've got that intermediary higher energy that can say this person wants it, this person doesn't. I learned one time, I heard this and it shocked me, but for people that are in a certain low vibration, let's say they're just
Mhm.
struggling with depression or they're having anger issues or whatever it is, being sent a lot of light can feel like an attack. It can feel like
Oh
a
yeah,
psychic
for sure.
attack.
It
And you're
doesn't
not actually
resonate with their
helping them. You're
frequency.
actually bombarding them with something that
Mhm.
does not work for them, right? So some
Yeah,
people just have to get through things on their own when they're ready to seek help. They can then
absolutely.
go get that help.
Absolutely, Susan. Yeah, and Reiki respects free will. So if somebody's not open to it, the Reiki energy is not going to flow to them.
Right.
Yeah, for some people, they operate at such a low frequency, they're not compatible or open to something that's going to help. Can I just bring up one more question before we
Sure,
do?
sure. Yeah. Are you going to bring up
Madhog
one more
wants to
question?
know: does the Holy Fire Master have a different symbol than a Sui Master class? Yes, it does. Um, So if you take the master level class, you learn the four Asui symbols. But in Holy Fire, and like I said, this is how the energy is a little bit different. There's actually another master level symbol that is part of that ignition process that I was talking about earlier. That kind of instills that energy into your being, which is how you can teach or do attunements without even having to do them hands on. It's just directed by the Holy Fire energy. Yeah.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Last question. Monica says, does this help with physical trauma and healing? I believe it does. We're not giving medical advice here. We, suggest you always seek a doctor out. You always seek professional credentialed help, right?
Mhm.
But I believe it can help with physical trauma and healing. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I never say that Reiki is gonna cure everybody of all of their illnesses because we can actually learn a lot, and sometimes we don't know what we've put onto our path to experience, and that soul contract. Um, so yes, it can help, and I have seen a lot of miracles come through with Reiki healing. Um, at the very least, I would say that it can be helpful with kind of the pain management as well. But to actually say, is it going to cure me of this? I don't know. Everybody's different. It depends on what we're meant to learn from that experience and what we came down here to experience, right? And yes, somebody says, does Reiki work on pets too? Absolutely. It works.
Absolutely.
Everything that has life force energy, everything that has consciousness, we can send Reiki to those things to help heal and clear those energies.
Yeah, your plants, anything. All right, I
Yep.
swear this is the last question. Sabrina, because I don't know. This is a good question, right? Sabrina Tree of Life says, have you heard of any comparisons between Reiki and therapeutic touch?
I'm not actually familiar with therapeutic touch,
Okay,
so
me either. That's what I was like, that's a good question. So I don't know.
but I will say, and we kind of chatted about this earlier, I think there's a misconception that with Reiki, it's always hands-on healing, which is, hands-on healing can be great, but we can also treat the auras. We go over that in the class, and the different components to the energetic body. But also sending Reiki at a distance is just as powerful, just as strong as doing it hands-on. Um, so I'm assuming with therapeutic touch, um, obviously there's hands-on healing. I will also say I'm not familiar with that technique, but Reiki is very complementary to other healing modalities. So
Nice.
if you have experience with that, Sabrina, we could chat and I could learn a little bit more about it. But I bet you that Reiki would complement that energy very well. A lot of
Okay.
massage therapists actually learn Reiki too and incorporate that in their
That's true. Yeah,
massages work. Yeah.
absolutely.
And Kevin Lewis is here,
Kevin
another
Lewis,
Reiki
hey Kevin.
master.
Good to have you join us. All right. Are we ready to maybe get this party started? I'm
Yeah,
glad
let's
we
do
answered
it.
some questions because it gave people time to sort of catch us live, and now
Absolutely.
they can join in on the actual meditation. And just
Mhm.
so I want to say as well, when he's doing his meditation, he'll set us up, and then there's going to be a period of silence. Well, there's going to be music, but there's going to be a time when he's not talking, right? That's for you to experience what you experience. Like he said, this holy fire meets you where you are. But I
Mhm.
also want to say that I'm going to turn my video off because I still have this cold and I don't want to start coughing or anything during this. So you'll see my video off. His video will be on. Your eyes will be closed, I hope, and you'll be experiencing the healing, the journey, whatever it is that you need to experience. I've done this with him before. It is super powerful. I also want to say, if you're driving a car, this is not the time. Do not listen. This is very powerful. Do not underestimate the power of this. I would
Mhm.
suggest you not drive a car. I would suggest you not do something that really requires your attention, like cooking or something that could be a problem, right?
Anything that
If
you're
you
distracted
can,
from. Mhm.
sit down and enjoy this, really, or lay down and enjoy this.
Yes, absolutely. I was gonna mention that too. Yeah, it's best if you can lay down or recline back. Um, you know, you're gonna experience and feel a lot more if there's a lot less distractions. And if you are busy right now, like we said earlier, please watch this later. I think a wonderful time to connect to Reiki is when you're going to sleep. So if you want to watch just this part, before you go to bed, if you're busy right now.
Yeah,
Um,
fast forward.
mhm,
Just make
yeah,
a notation around the 30-minute mark of this video that that's where the meditation is. If you're
yes.
driving, I mean, sometimes I've driven while but I'm just telling you, I've experienced this with Kevin before. I know
Mm,
that this is powerful. So if you start to feel woozy or something, I would just turn it off if you're driving. I
mhm,
really don't want anybody to have an accident, right? I'd really you
yeah.
be
It
safe.
can make you a little bit groggy and tired. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about cooking. I just that's what my guide said. Like I don't want you to get distracted and burn your dinner or something. This
Right.
video is on YouTube for you. Anytime you want it. You can watch it later tonight when you're going to sleep, as Kevin said. You can watch it next week. You can watch it next year. It's literally going to snap you right back into that same energy again. every single time. And I think every time you watch this video, it's going to get stronger. So I think
Well, and
as
it
it,
might be different too, I'll
or it
say,
might be
because it moves
different
to where
because,
you're at. So if all of you all right now just need a lot of peaceful energy and stress relief, and it does very good with that. But like I was saying earlier, we might have different intentions each time for the healing too. Sometimes it's super grounding, sometimes it's elevating. It just, that's like I said, the thing that I love the most about Holy Fire is it really meets you where
I
you're
love
at and
that.
what you need at this time. Yes,
Love it.
absolutely. And we're going to be doing again, for anybody that's joining us, this experience is called Empowered by the River of Peace. And so I really wanted to do this because everything's very stressful universally right now. We're all kind of feeling it, all of us light workers and empaths. And this helps us to connect to that peace within, to that loving um, God spark within all of us. And as we focus in on that and bringing that in, it kind of collectively helps with bringing in world peace too. So I think it's a perfect time for this.
I agree.
All right.
100%.
And so, yes, Susan and I will both have our microphones muted during this. Um, and I'm not going to be directing the energy at all. The Holy Fire energy does it by itself. So I'm just going to actually open up to receive it as well. All right.
Can't wait.
So if everybody wants to get comfy, let's get some music started here. So the music is starting. Everybody can just give a thumbs up or let me know if you can hear me and the music okay in the chat. All right. So we're going to start off by getting comfortable. Let's start off by taking a couple deep breaths in from that lower belly, bringing our attention and awareness inwards. And as you exhale, you can release anything that's not serving you in this present moment, anything that's distracting you from this experience. As you all get comfortable, I'm just going to talk about what the River of Peace is, and then we'll go ahead and get started. There's a sacred mountain range where the peaks of the mountains reach up energetically into higher heavens. The rain and snow that fall on these mountains come from the highest spiritual heaven. This water flows down the mountains and over beautiful waterfalls, then flows to form a sacred river. The river also flows through a volcanic area where it's warm to jacuzzi temperature. The water in the River of Peace is crystal clear and completely pure and unites us with our authentic human spirit, our authentic human gifts, talents, skills, and higher consciousness are revealed in our daily life. A new sense of belonging fills our sense of well-being. Because the river comes from the highest heavens, you'll be able to breathe underwater. And when you breathe the water, the sacred water flows completely through you, healing and refreshing every part of your being. There are also flames underwater and on the surface. These are the living flames of the Holy Fire, which do not burn, but are soothing, purifying, healing, guiding, and empowering. You may have other beautiful experiences not mentioned here. Right, so let's all imagine it's a beautiful sunny day. Imagine you're barefoot walking through a beautiful forest. As you breathe into yourself, imagine you're breathing in the life essence of the forest. And with each step that you take, imagine the earth's energies are flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. As you walk along, allow yourself to experience the trees, plants, flowers, and grass. and to merge with the life and harmony and peace of the forest. As you continue to walk along, you notice that up ahead it's getting lighter. You realize you're coming to the edge of the forest. As you leave the forest, before you is a beautiful river. It is the river of peace. Beautiful flowers are growing along the riverbank, and there's also a path following alongside the river. Go ahead and follow the path alongside the river. As you walk along the path, you feel the beautiful energy of the sacred water and feel yourself becoming one with all living things. Eventually, you come to a place where you can easily enter the water. You pause at the water's edge and realize this river contains the life energy that flows through all living things. You drink from the river of peace and feel the flows. The essence of life flows through you. You realize you are one with all living things, and this gives you a sense of belonging. You enter the water completely. Feel it flowing around you. The light from the highest heavens is shining on you as you swim and float and dive into the river's depths. The river of peace is guiding you now. Allow yourself to be guided by the river of peace. All right, everyone, whenever you're ready and at a pace that feels good for you, if you want to slowly take a couple deep breaths, bring your attention and awareness to your eyes and slowly come back to the room. I will say something that I love to do. Any of you like to do journal work, focusing on healing? Um, you can write down about what you experienced, anything that you saw, felt, heard, anything that you sensed. All right. I'm gonna turn off the music now while we wait for people to come back. All right. How are you feeling, Susan? I know that you were feeling a little under the weather. Were you feeling the energy flow? Oh, you're muted.
I did. It was such a beautiful meditation. Really, really peaceful and calming and uplifting all at the same time. It was
Yeah,
amazing. Yes, Mangled Unicorn said, that's amazing. We went on a trip, didn't we?
we did. I wasn't very visual, and I will say everybody will have different experiences with it. Like I said earlier, the wonderful thing about Holy Fire is it kind of meets you where you're at and gives you what you need at this time. Um, I did have some visitors come through, but if I can just share, um, I was feeling a little jittery and a little anxious, a little ungrounded at the start. I will say I had a coffee probably about 2 hours ago. So that probably is why. But I felt it really starting off working on my legs and feet and really kind of grounding the energy. And my legs got intensely hot. My left knee's been bothering me a little bit too, and I don't feel any pain right now with that. And then I kind of felt its way and that heat work up, really open up that heart space, um, you know, share love and compassion and peace with the world, but also like feeling that, fill up for myself as well. And then it kind of ended by really opening up that crown and third eye chakra. I feel a little spacey right now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for describing, like, how it went through your body. Like, several people are saying they felt it in their legs, or they felt it in
Hmm.
their joint, a specific joint. Mary says that her feet were very hot.
Yeah.
Um, but, again, he said it meets you where you need it. So if you
Hmm.
didn't feel anything specifically, that's okay. You still had time out from
Hmm.
this reality, which is a huge
Yeah.
benefit.
And if I can say, I see Old Wind Walker says, I get nothing from these, or so no idea if it helps or not. For some of you, you may not actually go on a vision, but it may help heal subconsciously. Um, I'll say if you're feeling a lot more peaceful and more relaxed, you know that the energy is working. And with these experiences too, they heal so deeply. I even feel it continuing to work on me even after the session, or we heal a lot when we're going to sleep. So check in how you're feeling tomorrow morning. If you're not feeling a whole lot right now, it might still be kind of integrating. Can I just say I had a couple messengers come through? I'd love to share.
Sure.
And I love seeing everybody in the chat sharing their experiences too. When I first started off, I saw Phoenix energy come through, which I think is really interesting.
Wow.
With the eclipse, it's a wonderful time for rebirth, um, kind of doing that introspective work and figuring out what's serving us, and walking away from the things that are no longer serving us on our journey. And calling upon Phoenix energy can be very helpful with that. Also, if you've been feeling um, stuck, uninspired, like a lot of us have kind of been feeling right now, call upon Phoenix to help reignite that flame, that fiery passion within you, helps to re inspire you as well. Archangel Gabriel came through at a moment, um,
Nice.
kind of helping to bring in creativity and inspiration, helping to bring hope when a lot of us are feeling so hopeless, and also he's the messenger archangel, so you can call upon him for guidance. Um, send me the signs, symbols to let me know that I'm on the right path, or the messages to help guide me. We had koi fish come through, which I think is interesting. So you can say koi fish or goldfish. It brings in prosperity and abundance. But I
Nice.
also think of koi fish as bringing in balance and peace, and also really helping to balance out the yin, Mother Earth energy, which we're getting a lot of shifts with that. And then that heavenly energy that comes in, bringing in that guidance too. So it kind of helps stabilize um, and balance, brings in that peace for you as well. And I will say one last thing. I don't know if somebody just lost a cat. um, she was coming in as like a female Siamese cat. Maybe it's just a female cat. I wasn't getting a name, but I did feel a female kitty come through from spirit, and was kind of rubbing up against the human leg or human.
Oh,
Um, and also, if you all have pets, don't be surprised. A lot of times when I do these experiences, the animals are so sensitive to the Reiki, they want to come in and snuggle with you and enjoy it as well. So if your pet was coming in close, that's probably why they're very sensitive to Reiki.
oh, I love that.
Just a couple things that came through for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you got those messages. And I think it's somebody mentioned in the comments how interesting that you started off with the Phoenix, because I'm actually teaching a class this Saturday about the Phoenix and
Are
about
you kidding
rebirth.
me?
I am not kidding you. I'm teaching a class with a Fefe, Tai Numba, Touched by Tarot here on YouTube.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
I'm getting
this
goosebumps with
Saturday,
this
Phoenix
now too.
transformation. It's exactly right, right? So
Well,
it,
maybe Phoenix was joining us a little bit early because I'm sure a
yes.
lot of people that are watching are signed up for the Phoenix class. And
Wow.
so Phoenix Energy wanted to come in a little bit early and will come through again when you and FFA teach. You said this
Yes,
Saturday?
this Saturday. And, even if you
Interesting.
don't do the class, it's here. The Phoenix is here. The energy, the
Yeah.
transformation is here. This meditation can help you, right? Like this is part of that process of letting go, of moving on. Yeah, it's always a good idea to hydrate. Hydrate lots of water.
Yes.
Even though it's
Absolutely.
energy, it really does affect your physical being.
Sometimes you may have a bit of a mild detox that happens after these sessions, especially if there was a lot of big releases, so stuck energy or toxins that build up in the system. The Reiki energy helps to release those, so the water helps kind of flush that out. Um, it depends. Everybody's a little bit different. So you might feel really elevated and really good. You might feel a little bit tired or groggy, or maybe you have like a dull headache after the session. If you are experiencing anything um, like a mild detox, even though it might be temporarily a bit uncomfortable, know that there was a lot of releasing during the session. So I always tell people to really honor their body. If you're feeling tired, take a nap. Um, and also be kind with yourself, because sometimes it brings up deep emotions that we've been holding on to, um, and so it's not uncommon for those things to come to the surface so that we can release them. So be kind, eat nourishing food, drink plenty of water after the session.
Yeah. So
Oh, I'm
you
sorry,
see,
Amy.
Amy said, yes, she lost a female cat just one night before last. So maybe that was your
Yeah.
cat, Amy, coming in to say hello. They love you. They're fine. They're perfectly fine. They're just
Hmm.
unfortunately not here with us on this plane of existence.
Well, they wanted to show up and give a lot of love.
Oh,
I felt like they're still there with you, Amy, but I think just because of that grief, I was feeling them come through to kind of help
yeah.
with the healing. Somebody
Oh,
also says if you still need to shower, you can imagine the water washing away the negative away too. Absolutely. I love, um, taking a shower or burning a bit of sage or Palo Santo, or they make great aura cleansing sprays. Selenite's good for cleansing. Yeah, cleaning up your space. Although I think these experiences do a pretty good job at kind of a good aura flushing and cleansing as well.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
all right.
Wow. You guys are so welcome. I'm so glad you're sharing your
I love it.
experiences. It really is an act of service of Kevin to do this for us. So thank you so much, Kevin, for
Um,
doing this and for sending us on a beautiful healing journey that we can now take forward into the rest of our week, right? And into our
yeah.
sleep time tonight as well.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm happy to be here and to do this. I know how stressed out a lot of the collective has been, you know, with current political, global war and all that stuff going on too. So I'm happy to help kind of lift the vibration during these stressful times. I will just say before we wrap up, we chatted a little bit about it before, but if you enjoyed this and you're considering taking the class, and I'm teaching Holy Fire Level 1 and 2 in October, November, and another class in January. And also, I'm starting to teach Holy Fire Master Level in November, will be my first class. So if anybody's interested or you want more information, you can go to my website, kevinslovingvibrations.com. You can enroll, or it goes over the class description there. Um, or if you have any questions with Holy Fire Reiki, you can send me an email. On my website, there's a contact form. You can do that. Or my email is kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. There's no S after Kevin, though, for the Gmail one. And I do also have openings in October for Reiki sessions. If you want to do a one-on-one session, I do have a 3-session wellness package for 3 Reiki sessions at a discounted rate, readings, or a reading and Reiki combination. So I have all that stuff going on.
Nice. Super
All right.
awesome.
Well,
Thank you
thank you, Susan.
so much. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
you have the most wonderful subscribers and base. What a beautiful.
Oh, well, they're we share, right? We
You
all
share quite a
share
bit,
an
yeah.
amazing community. We wouldn't be
So
here without
thankful.
you. So this is
Hmm.
definitely something that is very symbiotic, right? We were supporting each other. Kevin, we get healing, right? When we're healing you. So this is why it's so important to have this community. So grateful for all of you for joining us. Again, please don't forget about this video, maybe bookmark it, come back anytime. I think if you, especially given, as Kevin mentioned, the eclipse, but just the energy is just so
Hmm.
bombastic right now. You
So
might,
heavy.
it's free. This is a free resource for you, right? Especially if you can't afford Reiki at this time, you could
Mm,
tap back into this video this week, next week, and go right back into that amazing energy.
absolutely.
All right, everybody. If you're not subscribed to Kevin's channel, Kevin Loving Vibration, please go check it out. He is here on YouTube. He does all the things, right? If you're new to me, please subscribe to my channel as well. And take really good care of yourselves, all right? We will both see you around really soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.